Hey friends. Alright, so tonight I have decided to make some pork chops with like I'm going to sear these in a skillet, and then I'm going to make like a mushroom onion gravy to go on them. I love making these pork chops, and look, let me show y'all the price on these. So this has 9 pork chops in it. I've already counted them, and these were $4.69. Like, you cannot beat that for this many. I mean, I know they're small, but even if you had to buy 2 packs, that's still a decent price. So what I'm going to do, I just wanted to show y'all this before I opened it. I'm going to get some of these out because I'm definitely not going to cook all of them for me. So I'll probably do about half. So like if you're cooking for 1 or 2 people, you could definitely get more meals out of these instead of just one. But anyway, I'm going to get some of them out. I'm going to wash them off, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to season these up. We're going to sear them, and then we're going to make a delicious gravy. Okay, y'all, so I have our pork chops here. I washed them up really good, dried them. This is 5 just little boneless pork chops, okay? So let me get you down here so we can see. We're just going to season them up a little bit. I'm going to use some of this Greek seasoning. It's the Cavender's. You may be familiar with it, but it is so good. We love it. So I'm just going to do a good generous amount of that on there, and then I'm going to do some of this Mrs. Dash. This is salt free because this has salt in it, so you never want to use this or the Creole or anything like that and then use salt too, because you're going to have it way too salty. So that's what I like about the Mrs. Dash is you can add it and not add any extra salt. And then I'm going to do a little bit of pepper. Now, we love pork chops. I make pork chops so many different ways because that has always just been one of our favorites. And grilled chicken too. We do a lot of grilled chicken or baked pork chops. I mean, so many different ways. All right, so I'm going to turn these over. And y'all, these are so tender. These are those good, you know, some pork chops are very, very lean, but these aren't. And so that's what makes them so good, because they're so tender. Okay, now you can use a bone-in pork chop for this too. I love bone-in pork chops. Wipe my hands off. I love them both ways. And I just change it up, and I usually get whatever is priced the best. All right, so now we're just going to season the other side. You can use any kind of seasoning you want. These are just always my favorites. Okay, and we're going to do a little bit of our Mrs. Dash. And this Mrs. Dash, y'all, it has garlic in there. It has just pretty much anything that you would want. Some onion. All right, we're going to do a little pepper just because I like extra pepper. And I know that's probably in the Mrs. Dash too. I can see it. But, all right, we're going to just rub that around. I have my skillet over here getting hot. I put in just a little bit of olive oil. So we'll see here if it's getting good and hot. Let me look and see. Not quite yet. All right, y'all. So what I'm going to do, let me wipe my hands off again. I am going to let that oil get good and hot, and then I'm going to put our pork chops in there. I'm going to let them sear up really good on both sides, and then I'm going to take them out, and then we're going to make our mushroom onion gravy. But I'll come back and show you that. Okay, y'all, so see our pork chops here. We have seared them up really good. They got that beautiful golden color, and they smell so good. So now what we're going to do is just get them out of our skillet. Now, they're not done. You don't want to cook them until they're done, because we're going to slow cook them here in just a second. All right, and so now what I have here are some mushrooms. Dump those in. And some onion. Dump that in. Rest of that off there. I'll get that in a second. And then I'm going to toss in a little bit of butter. Let me get them over here just like that. And then we're going to toss in just a little bit, maybe about a tablespoon of butter. We don't need that much. About this much. Toss that in. All right, let me get y'all up here closer now that I have all of this stuff out of the way. But you can see our pork chops here, like I showed you in the skillet. They smell and look so good. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to sear these around for a little bit, let them get all of that good stuff off the bottom of the skillet, those seasonings and all those good flavors. And I'll come back and we'll add some more stuff to this, and we're going to put our pork chops back in there to slow cook. Alright, y'all, you see our mushrooms and onions are cooking down really good. They look so good. Mostly you just want to get that water out of the mushrooms. That way you don't have like a water texture in your gravy. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is add in a little bit of garlic. You know, you always want to do that last because you don't want your garlic to burn. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of garlic. Okay, mix that around just for a minute. You don't want this to sear up very long with your garlic in there. Okay. Back up a little bit. And then the next thing we're going to do is a little bit more butter. You know, we did about a tablespoon. I'm thinking we're going to do about half a tablespoon now. Add in there, and then we're going to add some gravy in to thicken our gravy up just a little bit. Okay. Let's see, get that good and melted. Okay. And then over here I have about 2 tablespoons of flour that did I say add gravy into the gravy? Anyway, we're going to add our flour into the gravy, y'all. I am crazy. And we're just going to stir this around for a minute. Alright, so that's about 1 tablespoon to start with. Sometimes I look back on my videos and I say completely the wrong word. And I don't even realize it at the time until I watch it back. And I think, goodness gracious, these people got to think I am just crazy as a bat. Which I am, but I try to do better if somebody's watching me. Okay. So we're mixing that up good. The gravy is getting good, or the flour is thickening it up really good. And so now we're going to add in some beef broth. Let me get my little thing over here. Open this up. And this is what's going to make our delicious gravy to go over our pork chops. Now, so we'll add a little bit in like that. Give it a good stir. Y'all, these are so good. Now, if you don't like mushrooms, you can totally do this and leave the mushrooms out. I love mushrooms, though. My boys never were crazy about them, so I was never really able to make stuff much like this whenever they were growing up. But now, whenever I'm cooking for myself, I love to do so. Okay. We're probably going to add this whole can of beef broth in. This is just a 14.5 ounce can, because we want lots of gravy. Because we're going to put those pork chops back down in here and let them just slow cook and all this good stuff. Okay, go ahead and put that in there. Doesn't that look good, y'all? I know it's hard for y'all to see over there. I'm telling you, the way my kitchen is set up, it is so hard to show exactly what I'm doing all the time. I apologize for that. Okay, so now we're going to add in a few more things. Y'all know I'm going to add in some of my W sauce. Always. Alright, we're just going to do a few splashes in just like that. And then one other thing we're going to add is some of this browning seasoning. Now, this is optional. You don't have to. I like this just mostly because of the color that it gives, but we're going to do a really small amount of this. I'm thinking maybe about, because you don't need much, I'm thinking maybe about, that's a little under a capful. So that will definitely be plenty. Okay. Yeah, so it gives it that really nice dark color. You see how it changes the color of it so good. Okay. It's definitely good to have on hand. Grab you a bottle of it next time you go to the store. have it in your cabinet, and it's wonderful to have. Okay, y'all. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add our pork chops back in to this delicious gravy. Just stick them down in there. Try to get them under all that liquid as much as you can. I'll clean that up in a minute. And just poke them down in there. Now this is one thing that I do like about having the boneless pork chops whenever I'm doing something like this, because it does allow you so much more room in your skillet. And you can really get them submerged down in there. Let's get the rest of that good stuff off of that plate as much as we can. Okay. Then that's it, y'all. See, you can't even see the pork chops. We just have them under there, and I'm going to let this just sit here and simmer really low for a little bit, and I'm going to figure out what we're going to have with this. I'm thinking maybe some mashed potatoes. I got to figure out my green. I do have some asparagus. I may do that. But anyway, we're just going to let this hang out, and I'll come back. Y'all, it's already smelling so good. Y'all will love this recipe. Okay, y'all, our pork chops, they are over here. They are just slow cooking. Let me let you look at them. They look so good. Look at them in here. They're just cooking and all that gravy. I tell you what, they smell so good. I peeled some potatoes. I have them back here. I'm going to make a little bit of mashed potatoes with those. And I still haven't decided if I want to do asparagus or green beans. But anyway, so I want to talk to y'all for a second. So I got a little bit of backlash the other night over my my little craft spaghetti box that I shared. You know, there were most of you were wonderful and were like, I've made this before, I loved it, I grew up on it, I used to make this for my kids, and I love all those comments, y'all. 99% of y'all are wonderful, but there's always those people that want to make those comments. So I got a few comments about that was a lazy woman's meal, lazy mama's meal, you should always make homemade sauce and this and that. And you know, and I even commented back and said, you know, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as a busy mom, you know, trying to make a meal on a budget and this and that, and they still would just come on back with it. But and I have tough skin, so it doesn't bother me. What bothered me about it was, as I may have some young moms that are out there and they see those comments. So I'm here to tell you, honey, I've been a single mom, I've been a struggling mom, I've been a young mom, I have been all of the above, and it's okay to make stuff like that for your babies. If your children go to bed at night and they're happy and they are well fed and they know that their mama loves them, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you have given them a big full course meal, or if you have cooked them something out of a box or something frozen. It's okay. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you know that, because I know in today's time, you know, seeing comments and stuff like that on social media, and people can be so critical, and it really affects your mind. It really affects you. You know, you start to question your self-worth or this, that. Please don't. It's okay. There's not enough time in the day sometimes to even hardly heat something up in the microwave, much less cook a big huge meal. So trust me, I get it. I understand you when you're busy and you just don't have the time and you just got to throw something together. I get you. I understand. Trust me, I do. If you ever need to reach out to me, if you ever need someone to talk to, trust me, I'm here always. I get it. I love to cook more than anybody, and sometimes you just don't have that time. And that was another comment that was said about you should always cook with love. Well, cooking with love, it doesn't mean that it has to be all from scratch. no matter what I make, I'm cooking it with love always. I cook that spaghetti out of the box with love. I mean, it doesn't matter where it started or how much work you put into it. You know, you're cooking this for your children, and that's all that matters. Okay, so I just want to make sure that y'all know that. I don't ever want anyone to see something like that on my page and think down or negative about their self. So I just really wanted to point that out because, like I said, I know in today's time with social media and all the comments and the judgments and everything, it is hard. I know it's very hard. I've been there. I've done that. I understand you, girl. I get it. Okay? And so anyway, I just wanted to say that. But I have my pork chops back here. They are slow cooking. We have our potatoes here. They're fixing to come up to a boil. And I'm going to get all this whipped up, y'all. And we're going to look at these delicious pork chops. Okay, y'all. Let's plate this wonderful meal up. I tell you what, these pork chops smell amazing. I have not even tasted them yet. So we're going to see what they're like. But first thing we're going to do, you know, I told you I was making a little thing of mashed potatoes. So here they are. I just did Idaho potatoes with a little bit of heavy cream and butter. Lots of butter. I love lots of butter in my mashed potatoes. I mean, who don't, right? That's what makes them so good. All right, so that's going to be like the base of our meal here, and then we're going to let me get one of these pork chops out. Let's see, get one out, and we're going to kind of sit it kind of sideways like that on our potatoes, and then we're going to get some of this good delicious mushroom gravy out. And y'all, I remembered that I had just a little bit of green beans left in the fridge from our dinner Saturday night. And I thought, well, if I'm going to use them, I need to use them tonight because tomorrow I'm going to have to clean out my fridge and get all the stuff out. So that's what we're having with it, is these leftover green beans. And they are still delicious. I did taste them as I was heating them up. Okay. All right, y'all. I want you to look at this. This pork chop and gravy has just went all over our plate here. So let's see. Let me get this on back. There we go. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we're going to pull off a little piece of this pork chop. I'm telling y'all, these are fork tender after you cook them like that. See that? Just pull it apart. We have those mashed potatoes in there. We're going to get a bite of those with it. It's crazy hot. Now, like I said, if you don't like mushrooms, you can definitely leave that out. But it is a very good, if you do like mushrooms, it's a very good gravy. I haven't had this in a while, but I know it is. Goodness, so good, y'all. These mushrooms, the mashed potatoes, the green beans, delicious. That is wonderful. Y'all have got to make those pork chops. But I'm so appreciative to all of y'all that follow along on this journey with me. I know I tell y'all this all the time, but some people can be so critical, and so sometimes it's hard to not question yourself. But anyway, I love all of y'all. I hope y'all try this pork chop recipe because you will absolutely love it. It is amazing. I cannot wait to eat all this. And anyway, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.